Hello everyone, welcome to basic JSON parsing. So I have a JSON file uploaded online with an URL. So here I have a student object and an array of multiple properties. So to get the JSON file, you just need to right click raw in this GitHub repository. So click raw, and there you go, you have your JSON file online, and this is the URL. But firstly, we need to create a project, Android project. So create new project, empty project. Let's name it as JSON Android. I am using the minimum API 23 Java programming language. Finish. To create an application or mobile app, you go to your layout, activity main. So delete that hello world. So let me minimize this first. Design only. Zoom in. So put an text view above. Yes. Empty this text view. Maybe let's adjust the size first. Let's put some margin a little bit. That's okay. Okay, that's done. Now we need to do is go to our main activity. Wait. Let's go first in our Gradle. I build Gradle file. Let's put some implementations. So firstly, we need to implement Android Valley. So Android Valley is for our request caching. So it's better to have a cache rather than to request every time our JSON. So in standard, we just go get a request and get a response. But if we request, then keep the cache and keep the cache locally that your mobile device can get the response faster. But it needs to have an authentication first. So if you have an Android Valley, your networking web request will be faster because of the cache. Okay, let's go back. So how do we import that? So we put implementation semicolon com dot android dot valley. Okay, that's done. Let's sync. If we highlight this, it will say newer version of Valley than 120 is available for 1.21. But now I rather use this now. If you have any problems, you just need to upgrade it to 1.2.0. So for me, I want to use this version for now. So after that, we need to go to our manifest XML, and since we are using internet in our mobile device, we need the permission to get to the internet. So first we uses permission Android permission internet. close the tag, and you're done. So that's it. We have permission to go to the internet in our mobile app. So go to our activity. Firstly, we need to declare some variables on our UI. So firstly is private text view, our text view that the name of our text view is text view. Okay, text, no, my text view, since we are just declaring this first. Later on we will be finding it with the use of our class. So button, my button. Next is private. So we need to have a queue variable for our Android Valley. Let's name it as request queue, my queue. So we have here, we just need to add Android widget that button, but it's easier to do this. Import class. Again, this one, highlight it, import class. So if you see here, we imported some of it here. So Valley request queue and the widget button and text view. So let's go back. So let's create a private method. Let's name it as get request without a returning value. It's okay. So I need to copy paste code from my my guide, but don't worry, I will explain it all here. But firstly, we need to import these libraries first. So this one, import class. This one, import class. Import class. This one is import class. JSON array. Import class. JSON exception. Import class. Import class. So that's done. So if you having trouble, you can just use import.com.android.valley.asterisk. So for your own convenience, or import org.json.asterisk too. So you wouldn't import I write this all. So next step, we need to explain all of this. So let me change that to my let's result. Let's replace that with my result. So here we have an string URL. So let's go back to our JSON file. So to the row, copy this and paste it here. So now we have a JSON file. So next, we need to create an object, JSON object request. So we have some parameters. So what method do you use? We use a get method to get the information from the JSON or fetch. Next is what JSON URL we are needing, or link or file. So we are using this link. So in this string URL, so you put it here. Next is what variation of JSON request. So we set it to null. So now we got the JSON object. So next thing to do is to extract them. So extract the array from the JSON object, which is the students. This is the student object. We will extracting this three properties inside the students array JSON array. So firstly, we need to get the array. So we declare JSON array. We name it as JSON array. is equal to response. So the response is, this is the JSON response. So from our JSON object here, we fetch. So it is named as response. So the JSON file is now this JSON response. So we get the response that get JSON array. So we need the students array. So as you can see, that name is students. So students. So now we need to get the 3 elements. So now we can add a for loop method, or for each for you. So now I'm using a for loop method. So int I0, so I is less than array dot JSON array dot length, so which is this. So length, so the size of the length of our JSON is 3 indexes, so 1 2 3. So next, if we get this JSON and this JSON, so now we're inside the students object. So now we need to go inside to its properties. So now we declare this again, JSON object. So since this is, now close that one, close. So since this properties are object, so we need to declare it as an object. So JSON object student, so name it as a student. JSON array dot JSON object I, which is this one. So 0, so the index 0 will be this one, the first object properties. 1, so we are on 1. So we need to get the 2 properties, which is name and age. So now we have multiple properties here we need to add. So now we have only 2. So we need to add more. So string my email student that get string. So name is email. Next thing is boolean. So what's wrong? I get string. Okay. Next is, since this is boolean, bool my that is enrolled student get boolean is enrolled. Is that right? Is enrolled. Okay. Now we need to do is to append this to an text view. So this is a loop. So every time it fetches or it loops, it will print below down. So below the first appended text, which is we have here a double escape new line. So firstly is the name. Next is the age. So I need to add more. So add the email. So add email. My email. Okay. Next is to add the boolean. So we need to get this is enrolled. Okay. That's done. So we need to add some comma. So it can feel that it is separated. Okay, this one too. Okay, that's done. So we have your name next to the age, to the email, and the boolean. So after that, we have here some catch error. So if this fetch have some error, it will catch here with the JSON exception. So if we catch an error on our JSON fetch or web request, it will print an error here. So we have here print trace. So it will go to our log cut if you want to debug it. So you can do that log cut or your debugging button here. So next we are done here. So we need to put this in the queue. So my queue that add that request. So now we are giving it the Android Valley request. So but firstly we need to add a request in the onCreate function. So our request will be read to our system. So my queue valley that new request queue, and this class needs the request queue. So this class main activity. So that's done. Let's build it. Let's see the build progress. So I almost forgot. We need to put this on a public void method so we can use it on our button. So we also forgot to add a button. So okay, let's do this. So get JSON. Let's name it as get JSON and run our method, which is get request. But we need to go to activity. We need to a button. Sorry, I have some couple mistakes. So add this here. Constraint to the bottom. So let's name the text of this. Name it as Parse. Okay, that's done. So we need to declare another one. So my button and my text is already here. My request done. My request text view. But we need to declare it or find it with the use of our class. So let's put it above. So my text, no, my result is equal to find idr dot id dot text view. Oh, that's text view. Next is my button. So find idr dot id dot, I think that's button. Okay, my, oh, that's done. I think that's done already. So we are done. So let's go to our activity main. Go to our button, search for an attribute called onClick, then find that get request. I think why is it not get JSON public void? No, we need to cast it on a view object. So put view, declare it as a v. So import this class, import class. Okay, that's our Android view.view. So we are done. Let's go back to our Android activity. Click your parse, on click, and find that get JSON. So that's done. So we need to test this on in my device. So this is my Android device is called Xiaomi Redmi 8. It's connected to my computer now. So let's start building it. But firstly, I need to show you to my screen. So I need a mirror up. So that's my phone. Debug. Installing. Install. So let's watch for error. So we click this debug. So if there's any error, we can fix it. So parse. So there you have it. You have your data. So you have your name, the age, the email, and uh, the boolean or the is enrolled variable on the JSON. So we have here three. So that's it. It is now working. So I like you to try this. So I will be uploading this project file and JSON. I will be posting it in the description. So thank you very much and have a nice day.